last one.
You think this is the last one?
I hope so.
You're not talking in Springfield?
What happened here? You can't take it out anymore? Scooter.
How does it feel out there today?
Amazing. It's been a long time coming. The last few years, and I'm so glad it's finally here, and we got to see it. So it was emotional. It was when the thing went up, and felt like the sun was just perfect today, just shining right on it. So I'm so happy that my family is here to witness this. My parents are still alive to see it. So it was a very, very cool day, and I enjoyed it.
When you look back on your career, Dirk, now you got a street name out there, jersey retired, statue out there and all that. Could you imagine this 20-something years ago?
No, I always say when I came here at 1920, I wasn't even sure if I could make it in this league. It was a huge jump for me at the time from Würzburg straight to the NBA. No college, no really major club in Europe. So it was a huge jump, and it was hard. It was hard at the beginning. The cultural differences, the language barrier, the style of play was so different, more fast, more athletic, and so I was struggling. I was struggling there. Obviously, you were there. My first couple of years, it was tough. I had to fight through it, and then to look back now, 20-some years later, and have all these things is amazing. It's been still surreal. And like Mark said, now hopefully the honoring now is at some point has an end. But it's been a fun, 3 years in retirement now with so many unforgettable moments, for my family really, with jersey retirement even in Germany, jersey retirement in January, my last game, street ceremony, now this. I mean, there's been so many amazing things coming my way, and I'm very, very humbled and appreciative of all that. But I'm also glad, now it's hopefully all behind us.
What was your patience level after the statue announcement? What was your patience level through the whole process?
Today? Or
just
the last few years. It's like I said, it's been a long time coming. It's been a fun process, though. I was involved I didn't want to be involved on a daily basis, but obviously I had to be involved a little bit. Flew to Chicago a couple times to see the artist. Got all the measurements, and I mean all that's part of the thing, and it was a pleasure though to work with Omri and his team and staff. They were true professionals, and it's a lot of things that goes into a jump shot, and like Holger mentioned in that video, it's a lot of details that go into that. So to explain all that to artists and engineers, and it was a fun project, I guess, for everybody involved the last few years, and we're happy and thrilled that it's finally up and running.
When they were playing the video, Dirk,
That you developed the signature shot. Do you remember what year was that?
Not really. I think I started shooting in my late 20s, early 30s. I always mentioned I lost a step. I wasn't as fast to the rim anymore. I didn't want to get fouled 100 times a game. And, I had to come up with the shot that I can still shoot and be efficient and be an effective scorer even in my older age. And that shot worked perfect. It didn't take a lot of effort out of me. All I had to do was bump a little bit, step back, and shoot over. So it's kind of amazing that now that shot is the statue, something that sort of came later on in my career, but something that really helped me there in my 30s and late 30s to still be a decent scorer. So I'm happy we decided to make it a little one-legger, and it's going to live on forever out there.
Dirk, what's it been like for you to watch, especially in the last 3 years, but even throughout, all the other players around the league kind of copy that shot, and including Luka and so many others?
Yeah, it's almost these guys have taken it to another level. It's been super fun to watch. That they all think that the shot is a great weapon to have in their arsenal. It's when the shot clock's running down, or you really can't go by anybody, or the time's running down. It's just a shot you can get up at any time. And like I said, it doesn't take a lot of effort. If you have a little touch, and some balance, and you kind of know where the rim is. I think it's an easier shot to shoot, and so I love that guys around the league shoot it more and more now, and making it part of their repertoire.
Who came up with the motto and when?
This actually just happened. You know, the statue was basically done, and we've kind of left it open for the last couple of years, and I think Laura Beth came up to me on our last visit in Chicago, and she's like, "No, we need that motto on the base," and we've kind of pushed it away for 2 years. So I just, sat down, like, what do people associate with you when here in Dallas? And it was these two things. It was the fadeaway and the loyalty. So we kind of combined that, and it's just a little fun fact that it happens to be 21 letters, so the 21 years. That was more luck than really design. But I just wanted to think of something that people associate me with here in my new home, and I kind of felt it fit perfect.
Did you ever come close to leaving the Mavericks? Because I know a lot of other teams were throwing a lot of money at you. No,
not really. I mean, we always said the only chance would have been if we wouldn't have won the championship, and down the stretch I would have my career maybe joined some team to win it. But I'm so happy. Obviously, I didn't have to do that, and it worked out this way. And then once we won the championship, obviously, I knew I wanted to be here, finish my career here, and as mentioned, the last couple of years were not always fun, but. I see it as getting through tougher times. You can't always be there when times are good and be the face when things are good. I wanted to also push through when times were bad, and we were not great at the beginning and we're not great at the end. But it's definitely a time that I also relished, and got to play with Luka for a season, and there were still some fun things happening, even though we weren't really a playoff team there in the last couple of years.
You talk about the emotions, Dirk, today, when they played the video with Omri, and I think he mentioned how 500 years from now people will still see this. I thought maybe I saw a tear come to your eye. How do you wrap your mind around the permanence of the statue?
Yeah, I think this is what makes a statue like that so special. That generations after us will see this after we're long gone. People are going to see the statue, and hopefully maybe Google is already out by that point, but look it up. Who's this guy? What does this guy do? And I think that's what's so cool about a statue and a sculpture like this. So that it lives for eternity, and now my family really obviously is so proud and appreciate. But Nowitzki's down the line, hopefully at some point, wherever they may be in the world, can come here and see this thing. I think that's the most emotional part. And you're right. I think the most emotional I was during the two videos. As always, on my speech, I was kind of focused. I didn't really want to forget anybody, but the two videos, that was pretty cool.
I saw your name showed up on the list of candidates for the Hall of Fame. How much are you looking forward to being inducted there?
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait till it's obviously fully announced that who's in. If it happens, it'll be amazing. I mean, you saw the class. There are some amazing athletes and players that have done so much for our game and for the history of the game. So, I mean, it would be an honor to go in with this class, including Pop. I never, made it a secret how much of a fan I was of Coach Pop and the respect I have for him. So, I mean, it would be an honor to go in with this class, and so we'll see what happens in the next few months, and then we'll book a trip.
What do your kids think of the statue?
It was a lot happening now. I didn't really get to talk to him just now, just high fives and hugs. I think my daughter was embarrassed as always. She's only 9, but she's already in that everything is everything Papa does is embarrassing. So she didn't want to come up on the stage and help me push the lever. Maxi, of course, was fired up. Morris got a little shy there at the last second. He was supposed to help too, but I think with everything, they'll learn to, appreciate it more as they get older now, or understand a little bit what I was doing. Of course, they know I played for the Mavs at some point. Over time, I think it might hit home a little more that Papa was actually pretty cool. Right now, he's not.
Henri, I talked to Henri a couple days ago, and he said that Jessica said something in her conversation that he incorporated in the statue. Do you know what that was?
Actually, I don't. They probably did the artist-to-artist talk. Jess loves art. She worked in the art world for a long time. So on one of the visits, actually, Jess went. This was, I want to say, a bunch of months ago, maybe in the summer, early spring. We went to Chicago with her and did a studio visit, and they talked art for about an hour, and I was just sitting there like, no idea what they were going through. But I can't tell you. We'll ask Jess.
If you have a say,
If you were to design the statue, what would you have added to it? If you would add anything.
I mean, we were sort of involved throughout the whole project, so I don't think there is anything I would add. I think the color is great. Obviously, we decided on doing the championship year, so that's why I had the little flowy hair going. I had the white home uniform from the championship year. I think the greatest detail is you see on the shoe. They see that Nike swoosh, and those were the shoes that I wore in the championship year. So Omri did, and his staff obviously did a fantastic job.
Was there a runner-up pose, like a defensive crouch maybe?
Not really sure if there was a runner-up. My game was all offense at all times, and so it had to be a shot for sure.
Dirk, what do you want your legacy to be remembered for when people look back at your career?
I mean, it's always a tough question. I don't know, a guy that loved to play, first of all, loved to represent the city of Dallas and the Mavs. Loved to be out there, sick, hurt. Loved to be out there with the guys and help the team and the franchise win games. And I think that's really it. That was always my number one focus. I never was always sports. I didn't want to make a brand out of myself off the court. I didn't want all this other stuff. When the season was over, I took a little vacation, and I was back in the gym working, trying to be a better player and come back the next year. So that was always my focus, be the best you can be. Bring out everything out of your talent. Don't leave any stone unturned. And I think that was on the court, and then I think the coolest thing off the court is how I grew into this community here. And, to this day, I'm very appreciative of my early years. Things were a little tough for me, but the fans were always there. I felt like I always say that the community wanted me to succeed and do well. And now, 20-some years later, I'm such a big part in this community, and that's what I'm proud of most, probably off the floor.
I know the game today is maybe a little bit beside the point, but with one of your old rivals, LeBron James, on the court today, what kind of context does that bring to this day, and what memories does it bring back, and what do you think when you see him kind of still going at this level?
Yeah, I mean, tremendous that he can still play like this in his year 20. The athleticism is incredible. So I'm happy for him. I always say Michael Jordan is the GOAT. If he really surpasses Kareem in the scoring record, I mean, it's I'm sort of running out of arguments for Michael. I mean, what this guy has done has been nothing short of incredible. The longevity, and I always say, being called king at 15 and how he turned out and what he's done for communities where he played and changed so many lives. So he's a very, very special athlete, and I think for now we need to appreciate that watching him and at the level he's playing at.
Is there someone within the league who you think may have a unique shot that you think we should be looking out for?
Well, this Steph comes to mind with this, he's sort of got an unorthodox shot, from the dribble right up. Something I don't think we've seen like that during our time. And how quick he releases it off the dribble, how far he shoots it away from. I mean, he kind of changed the game in a way. Now everybody's shooting from past half court, and so yeah, I mean, his jumper is maybe one of the best ever.
In your retirement, have you been able to reflect not only on your impact in the league,
What's your impact on the game of basketball?
I mean, you know me. I don't really love thinking about stuff like that. It's been getting recognized so many times now over the past 3 years. Has been, yeah, so cool. It's made me obviously filled with pride that, you know, people respect it and appreciated what I tried to do here for 21 years and give it my all and win as many games as possible. And so. That's really all I could have done is try to do everything for this team and for this franchise and let the rest take care of itself.
How important was Don Nelson towards your career and you being here today?
Well, both Donnie and Don, of course, were the people that brought me here. You know, this was even before Mark. This one, Ross still owned the team, and so, you know, Donnie was known for his international, you know, liaisons with Lithuania and, you know, bringing more Chileones over at the time. And, you know, yeah, I'm super thankful for those two gentlemen, what they've done for me in my career, bringing me over. And then, you know, there were not a lot of 7-footers shooting threes, or dribble up the ball and shoot. And so I owe a lot to Don. He was a genius in basketball strategy. He saw the game way different than any other coaches saw the game back then. And, you know, he let me do my thing. He was a mismatch master. And, you know, on defense, he always found ways to hide me at the beginning because, you know, I was just too weak and for the power forward position. So he was just always coming up with things on offense for me and on defense. So I do owe him a lot. And, you know, I think about the Nelsons a lot.
To be the first MVP from Europe and see now Giannis and Nikola and, you know, possibly maybe Luka, you know, do what they're doing. What does that mean to you and obviously the game grow, you know, from overseas?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. I mean, when I came in the league, early 90s, there was maybe one foreign player on every roster, and now there's numerous of foreign players, franchise players. It's been fun to watch the growth and the development outside of the U.S. Of course, the U.S. is always the greatest in hoops, but to watch the skill level that all these players come in now has been an amazing journey. I mean, you know, back then when I started, the 4s and 5s were all big rebounders and stay close to the basket, and now even the 5s dribble the ball up, pick and pop, shoot threes, spread the floor. So just the skill level of the evolution of all these players has been, the last 20-something years have been incredible. And I'm proud of all these, you know, Euros coming here and you know, leaving their mark on the game and making the game a better game.
There's so much movement in the NBA today, Dirk. Obviously, free agency is just always like a crazy time every summer. Can you ever see your 21-year streak being broken?
Well, we hope Luka can break it. I mean, that would be cool. He's got a long way to go, but yeah, you never know. You know, it's I always say everybody has to find their own path and what's best for them and their family. For me, it was just this path to stay with one team. I had so much loyalty from obviously the community and Mark. And for me, this was the way to go. But I also understand that the times are different now, and guys are moving around a little bit more. But just you know, it's whatever fits your journey, whatever fits your personality, and so we'll see. You know, you always think you've seen it all. You know, and you know, when Kevin Durant came, you're like, oh my God, there's a 7-footer now playing a 2-guard. Now you have a 7'4" guy coming to the league next year who's jacking up threes and shooting runners some threes. I mean, there's always something else, something better coming down the line, you know. So we got to appreciate that, and the game never stops. It keeps evolving, and so I'm sure at some point that record will be broken as well. We'll just wait and see.
You knew this day was coming for a while. It's been in the works. Was there any part of it that surprised you or took you back at all?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be minus temperature this week, so that was when we planned. It wasn't planned in, even though obviously the weather turned out unbelievable leading up now the last few days, and was very cold. But no, other than that, I think it was everything I dreamed of. You know, my family being here, my parents still there, being able to witness all this the last 2 years. I think what makes me the most proud, because they were my number one fans through thick and thin. So I'm super happy that they made the journey. So yeah, no, everything was sort of what I was dreaming about, I guess. Thank you guys. We'll see you soon.